Hey, hello and welcome to my review of all my trackballs. I've decided to make this a very short review, hopefully short, and describe you what are the good and the bad about these mouses, because I've never seen all these mouses compared all together. So before I return the ones that I've decided not to keep, I thought why not to share my opinions about them. So here we have the Perixx 506, the Kensington ORBIT, the Kensington EXPERT, the Kensington Slimblade. So I want to start talking about the style of these mouses. I feel like when it comes to style, these three, all the Kensingtons, have something more. They just add something to your desktop, and they also kind of feel like they are coming from the future, and it kind of feels good in my studio, and I guess it will feel maybe good even in your studio too, or whatever space you have. Yes, they are bulky, they are big, but still they are kind of stylish. Whether the Perixx 506, it kind of feels like the Kensingtons are coming from the future. The Perixx, it feels like it's coming actually from the past. It's not necessarily ugly, but it's a bit odd. So I'm gonna give a point to these three mouses. Altogether, for me, they all look good. Maybe the Slimblade a little bit better. When it comes to ergonomic and feel, I'm just gonna go one by one, and placing my hand on the Perixx 506, unfortunately I feel like it's not comfortable, and that's a big bummer, because like I wanted to love this mouse. This is the cheapest trackball mouse with the scroll ring and the palm rest, and so I wanted to love it, but I feel like yeah, I don't know. Please consider that I have a medium to large hand, so this may be different from your situation. If you maybe have smaller hands, you may actually love the Perixx 506, because I feel like the palm rest is too short, so the end of the palm kind of feels like it wants to go and slide back. So it doesn't have enough sustain, and the buttons are kind of placed weirdly, because if I have the middle of my middle finger on the trackball, right, then the thumb is actually placed on the right click automatically. But what about the pinky? I need to do this movement to click the right button, and that's not really comfortable at all. You can detach the palm rest. It's not super straightforward to do so, but you can detach it, and you can maybe place it a little bit further, but again, I don't know, I feel like this is too light in if it's detached from the palm rest. The overall ergonomic didn't really feel good. Also, the texture of the fabric, it feels a bit awkward, so for me this was a no. And when it comes to the Kensington ORBIT, again, not good. If you get it with a palm rest, you will soon realize that the palm rest is actually really hard. This thing is really hard. It's not a joy to use it. When you buy secondhand, this is the third time I buy this mouse. Because the first one broke, and then I had different places, and you know, so every time I bought it second hand, this would come without a palm rest, because this is also detachable. And when it does come without a palm rest, it's actually kind of more comfy if you buy a third-party palm rest, which I'm gonna link one that is perfect for this mouse in the description of the video. But with the palm rest that comes with it, I feel like it's a no. Then I feel like the buttons are placed correctly, but the ball is a little bit too high, so after some time you will feel some pain, unfortunately. the Kensington Expert. We have a king when it comes to ergonomic here, and it's all to do with the palm rest. The palm rest is fantastic. It's so soft. It's just as soon as you place your hand on it, you have all your fingers, almost all of them, they are going to a button automatically. I don't need to do anything. I just place my hand. I have the thumb on the left click, I have the index on the third click, and I have of course the right click is again a little bit awkward, but you can readjust the buttons and configure it the way you want it. So we have a winner here. The only problem with this is very tilted. So the tilted angle is too much, and this means that the hand, it's a little bit too tilted up, and after a while you can still feel some pain. So not perfect, but good. The Slimblade. I wanted to love this mouse because it's got kind of the same concept of the Expert, but the tilting angle is lower. The problem with this though is that it doesn't come with the palm rest, and also the feel is weird because the plastic that they used, it's different from the plastic that being used for the Kensington Expert, and the plastic feel, it's very lucid, and it doesn't really feel good when you place your hand on it. It kind of causes your hand to be sweaty all the time, and it's really bad to have sweaty hands if you're using trackball, I feel like, because this will become dirt straight away. Also, when you place your hand on it, you end up like clicking the right click without wanting to click it, just because you don't really know where the edge of the clicks are. So I feel like the Slimblade was a no for me when it comes to ergonomic, unless you buy a third-hand palm rest, but a third-party palm rest. But again, if you do that, for mouses that are so big, I feel like it's a little bit awkward to have a detached palm rest. The winner is the Expert, definitely. I want to talk about DPI, and I have made a chart. The winner when it comes to DPI is the Kensington Slimblade, and the way I've done this test with all these 4 mouses is the same. Oh, hang on. We have another mouse that is not here on the table, but still I wanted to compare with. As far as I remember, the Kensington ORBIT Elite, it was actually quite comfortable to use. So if you're in the market for something super cheap and you are not interested in having the scroll ring, well, this was, to my memory, because it's been a couple of years since I used it, to my memory, this was actually quite comfortable. So something to consider there. DPI, I've done this test by scrolling the trackball from all the way left to all the way right and see where the cursor will go on the screen. And the screen I used was a 1080p resolution screen. So when I did that, I reached the end of the screen when I was at the half position of the ball with the Slimblade. When I done this test with the Kensington Expert, when I was all the way to the right of the ball, I was in the middle of the screen. When I done the same with the Kensington ORBIT, I reached the end of the screen exactly when I reached the end of the ball, the right end of the ball. There's not even a point to talk about the DPI. Like, it's really, really narrow, and you will end up like really scrolling the ball all the time. It's really making a very tiny amount of movement there. So the chart, the winner, second, third, and not even in the chart, unfortunately. Then let's talk about the scroll ring. I feel like the winner is the Kensington ORBIT. This is fantastic. It's very, very smooth. You can continue to scroll this in a very smooth way. You will never touch the ball, and it's just a joy to use it. It feels like very solid. You can use it as a... if you connect this to a virtual potentiometer or a knob or whatever in whatever DAW or video design or graphic design, you connect it to a parameter and you can scroll it, and it's really following nicely and smooth, and you never get distracted. It really gets the job done. And it's the same concept on the Kensington Expert, but unfortunately this is very clicky. It's not smooth. Also, there is a problem with the Kensington Expert that most of the time, if I was gonna do this, I will hit the ball. And so imagine you are trying to scroll a parameter there, but then the cursors will change, and then it's just not good. It doesn't feel as good. And the Slimblade as well, I personally didn't like it. This has got two sensors. One is for the cursor, the other one is for the scrolling. So you, in theory, there's a very good system because is allowing you to just never move your hand, and whenever you are, you can just scroll it. But it's not as precise as the Orbit, and most of the times when I would do the scrolling, also the cursor will move a little bit. Maybe I didn't practice enough, but I didn't really feel like this was a good system in the end. The Perixx 506 is just an old school scroll ring, so it is what you would expect. There's nothing wrong and nothing exceptional about it. It gets the job done, so it's not bad. So I would say first, second, these two are on the same position of the chart. Buttons, well, the winner is the Expert, but even if the Expert is the winner, it will still have some problems. I really like the feel of the buttons, but there is a problem with it, which is this. Let's see if you can pick that up from the camera. Stand it now. It's got a very annoying and strange spring sound when you release the button. And if it wasn't for this, the buttons are really good, and I didn't personally like the buttons of the Slimblade, and that's simply because, as I said before, you don't know where the edges of the buttons are, but also you press them when you don't want them all the time. They're not bad, but they're not good either. The buttons on the Kensington Orbit, well, I've broken one of these before, and the problem was that the left button have stopped working, so I cannot say that the buttons of these are great, as well as this is a relatively new one and it feels cheap, nothing to the same level of the Expert. Unfortunately, this is I think this is the biggest downside, is that the buttons are prone to break. I already broken one of these. The buttons of the 506 are again what you would expect from a kind of old school mouse. They get the job done. They kind of feel solid as well. A bit too clicky. Not too bad. So winner, maybe second place, and then these two on the same page. The software aspect, well, we have a world of difference with the three Kensingtons coming with a fantastic software that is allowing you to customize buttons and combinations of buttons according to the software you're using. So this is insane. You can just, I don't know, you can say, okay, if I have I don't know, Photoshop open, then I want this buttons to do that functionality and this button. So it is really versatile. Whether again the Perixx 506 is again what you would expect, and it's a little bit of an old school concept of a plug and play mouse. You plug it, you play with it, and that's up to you, whatever you do with it. So, I didn't know, the scroll ring actually, it's got a third click in it, so something to bear in mind. The same, by the way, is the same with the Orbit Elite. You can still customize the two buttons. So when I used this mouse, because of the lack of the scroll ring, what I would do is that the left and the right click combined together would then drag. So I would go to the scroll bar, press them both together, and now the cursor is acting as a left drag, and so I will use the ball to scroll the ring. It's a workaround, but still. And price, we're talking about 25 to 30 pounds brand new on Amazon. Link in the description for the Perixx 506. We are talking about like 30 to 35. Really, the prices for the Kensingtons can vary. Link in the description for Amazon again. You can find that second hand for every sort of price, sometimes even 10 pounds. That's due again, the prices is a little bit different, but I would say the Expert is between 70 to 90 pounds currently, and the Kensington Slimblade as well, but let's say this is a bit more expensive than the Expert. Also, you can often find the Expert second hand, and the prices for second hand can really vary. Sometimes you can find this for 30 quid, so it's really up to you. So they are ordered according to their price, from the cheapest to the most expensive. And here we go for the conclusion. Which mouse would I choose? Well, that would be the Kensington Expert, and that's to do with the fact that this mouse is the most comfortable, and for me this is the reason number one why I have decided to switch from normal mouses to trackball. It's all to do for the fact that when I was using normal mouses I would feel pain to my wrist, so there is actually no point to choose a trackball, which is more expensive, more hassle, is occupying more space, and I also feel still the pain. So the only reason I would use is again if I have pain relief, and this is the only one that does. Not the only, all of them are better than normal mouses, but this is way better than normal mouses. Again, it's not perfect, and I wish it was, and I wish I could do a mishmash of different mouses to create the best mouse. For instance, I wish this mouse had the tilting angle of the Slimblade, but the scroll ring of the Kensington Orbit, that would be probably, and without a spring noise, that would be the perfect mouse, basically. Is there anything I would say from the Perixx 506? No, but as it is very cheap, I believe this is the perfect backup mouse. This is very cheap. It's just insane that they managed to fit so much in such a small, compact and cheap device. And so I feel like this is the way to go with this one as a backup, and then you're good to go. I hope you enjoyed. Please press a like and comment if you feel like. Subscribe to the channel, it really helps, and I hope you enjoyed this review. So I will keep this and return the others. Thank you very much. Bye.